Hello everyone, this is Venom Geek Media here, and today, continuing our summer of spaceship, I'm going to show you my upgraded version of the LEGO Star Wars Rebel V-Wing MOC that I made a while ago, and since then it's really changed a lot. Morphed into a somewhat different beast. Still really has become a more fulfilled vision, I would say, perhaps. So, I'd just like to run through some of the changes that I made. Most of them are cosmetic, but actually there are some more significant changes. At first, you can probably see that there's not actually that much that has changed. It's still at core the same ship. But, there are small but significant differences with the first iteration. So primarily, the first thing that I changed was the wing patterning. Because I wasn't satisfied with it, it didn't really look like anything, whereas now it kind of looks like you can see a sort of feathered pattern sort of theme emerging. The transformation function is exactly the same as it was before. The wings just fold down for flight. I added some landing gear. Well, keep them for now. Most of the rest of its top half is really the same. Two pilots still, one behind the other. Quite a tight squeeze in there, but I feel like for the Rebels it would make sense. So they fit in there both snugly, but not unrealistically, I expect. Because it's a complex craft. I think you would need two crewmen in order to successfully operate it. So that's the main differences with kind of the top half. So now we're going to take it out. Might as well take off the landing gear, just these. I'm not a fan of new landing gear. Now the lower half is where we have seen significant amount of change. Number one, we have included a lot of flick-fire missiles. 1, 2, 3 flick-fire missiles. Their effectiveness is, debatable, but they're really just there to add a bit of colour because of their glowing pieces. That actually changes up the colour scheme a lot, I feel like. It really brings some more red into play, or reddy orange. So it's mostly to do that, but also give it a bit of play feature. Here, it's quite interesting. Well, you've got rocket pods. Well, that's what they're kind of modelled on. I don't know if you'd still call them rocket pods when they're technology like Star Wars, but you see this sort of, from this position, you can see them sort of, blazing out, I don't know, little proton rockets or something like that. But they're really cool. Again, they add to the colour of the ship, I feel. That they actually add to the ship's overall colour, giving more energy and vibrancy to it. There's a lot more, going on with it, it feels like. So that's the main change with them. Then going on to, I probably should lift these back up. Or actually, you can see that actually now curves down. The shape has actually been has become a lot more refined. It now looks a lot thinner and tapers more towards the aft. If I pull off this wing, you can sort of see now the shape is more tapering. So it doesn't feel quite so blockish, which I think helps really make it look faster and elegant. So yeah. Now for the most significant change, which I shall reveal here. Open these. And yeah, that is exact. Are you seeing what you think you're seeing? Probably, if you're thinking Bombay. So, how does that work? Well, essentially we fold down the wings to the bomb dropping position. This allows you access to this Technic axle here, and all you do is just pull out the axle, and there you go. Drops 4 proton bombs. Very simple system, very effective though. It's great for doing sort of free-fall bombing. I really like it, and it has a good shape while it's sort of in that bombing mode. I feel like, you know, it still looks very quite fast and aggressive, but in a more attacked and angled down position. I still love all the things that I said I use in the last video. You know, I love this really aggressive look that it has. You know, it looks very aggressive, particularly with that shark face and the sort of very backward, sort of fast, you know, coming at you sort of colour scheme and shaping. I still think that it works. It doesn't open up as much as it used to, but I think that's a good thing, because there's more function in it. You know, you've got these proton bombs now, they add a lot of playability, and the flick fire missiles, which are kind of meant to represent the sort of cannons here. And, you know, you have these rocket pods here. It still is the same ship. It's an interdictor attack fighter, you know, really fast but not particularly manoeuvrable or nimble, but designed to really get in, do a lot of damage, and get out, and hold its own against some fighters. And that, in a nutshell, is what it is. I think it still looks great, and I'm really happy with all the little refinements that I've made, and that's what they are. They're refinements. I feel like this is a significant improvement on its previous iterations, particularly with this bombing feature, which is so easy. Though reloading it can be a bit of a pest, but that, you know, part and parcel. The wings are much more controlled. I've strengthened them a lot by using a different piece, which actually has a little bit more tension in those hinges, so they're not going to flop around when you know, swing this about, swooshing it. You know, and it, like I say, it still, for me, has a good sense of scale to it. If we just, oh dear, that's a problem that maybe I should correct. These sort of vein pieces keep falling off. I'm not sure if I should keep them or get rid of them. I kind of feel like keeping them, only because they do add a sort of a, you know, a bit more groundedness to the ship. So we'll just put on these, landing gear. I don't like, as I've said in previous videos, I don't like modern landing gear systems because they don't cater to anything of significant weight, and I frankly don't have the parts and can't be bothered to make it integrate when I can just do that. And I'm not going to be using it most of the time because it's going to be flying around and swooshing around. So let's just, I might do it actually like an angle that kind of encompasses the whole ship. Pop out this pilot. There is also an R2 unit in there now, which I feel makes sense. Like I say previously, I did this as an homage to the Avro Vulcan bomber. A sort of, you know, those V bombers. As you can see, it's got a lot of scale like next to this little minifigure. You know, he's not tiny compared to it, but it certainly has a good sense of scale relative to him. So I think that works. It really communicates. It's big, but it's not huge. It's certainly not as huge as some of the other ones that I've built, but I feel like it's appropriately big for something that's rebel, for something that's sort of an attack fighter. I think it carries off its look really well. I just love the kind of the overall look of the ship, because it does just look so, you know, aggressive and forwards, and, you know, with its sort of forward leaning, very streamlined, very sleek hull design. I really like that, and I feel like the re-patterning that I have done has actually helped to communicate that much better than how it was previously. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm going to attach some photos at the end. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe as always. And I will see you guys in the next video.